Hey everyone, this is Luke from Empire Universe Podcast. We're back with a live interview, our live podcast stream. In a few minutes, I'm gonna be having UFC Featherweight Danny Chavez joining me for this podcast, and he's just running a little late, but he said he's on his way. So yeah. A couple things before we do this interview. If you haven't checked out my Hot Wings challenge, go ahead. It's pretty freaking wicked. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought. Like it wasn't as intense or as intense in the moment as it was. It got hotter and hotter at by the end. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm like dying. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So that being said, I probably will do another challenge like that. I think a lot of people, I had it on Instagram Live as well as I recorded it, and a lot of people liked it. So I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm just waiting for Danny to join in here. I actually need to share this live stream with some people. So for Danny to join in here, I actually need to share this. Now you can hear me. Let me see here. So I'm just kind of waiting for him, and hopefully he's not like sitting in there right now. Okay, no, he hasn't joined yet. So, okay, so yeah, just give me a second here, guys, and yeah, just again, I'm just waiting for Danny to join in here. So, whenever he's good to go. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm just I'm trying to add somebody in here, and then we'll be good to go. I don't think he's joined yet. So whoever's watching, just hang tight. Don't go anywhere. He is coming in. He's just running a tad bit late. He should be in the next minute or two. But yeah, for people that are watching, please go and check out that Hot Wings challenge or whenever you want to. Maybe after you watch us. So anyway, a little bit of Danny Chavez. He just fought back on the Blades versus Blades and the Black Beast card, and he actually lost. And I just got in touch with him again. We were supposed to do this interview, this podcast, like a week ago or something. Or no, like excuse me, what the hell am I thinking? Like 1 month ago. And then I think we were supposed to do an interview, and then like the week after was like the fight week. So I think he was just cutting weight and he's busy, and I get that. So whenever he comes in, I already sent him the link. So the only thing I don't like about live streams is like stuff like this, what people aren't on the stream together at the same time. But Yeah, he's coming in. Besides the Hot Wings Challenge, I'm going to be uploading 2 more podcasts. Actually, got 2 fighters that are actually fighting Cage Warriors this Friday. So I got Brian Creighton and Josh. Oh, Jesus. That's terrible. I'm forgetting last names, but literally I've been just having one of those days interviewing a bunch of people and getting a whole bunch of names. So I will be uploading those podcasts pretty soon. Probably Brian Creighton tonight. I actually did his interview like 3 or 4 days ago, so I feel really bad. I've just been insanely busy. And so waiting for Danny here. But yeah, anybody that's watching, leave some comments below. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want me to ask him. Or any comments just in general. It could be anything really random. Kind of keep it respectful. I don't want you to tell me I look like a freaking idiot or something. Oh no, nothing crazy like that. But you can put anything down, and I know people are watching right now. They're like, "Fuck!" They're like, "Where the hell's the guest?" Yeah, no, he's coming in. So it's all part of the live stream. This shit happens, so that's part of the game. So I don't know. Maybe just keep this on dial, like play some video games or, And as while I'm on the note, if you haven't checked out my Facebook page, you can go up there. All the content I put on my Instagram will go directly to my Facebook as well. So please go check out my Facebook as well. And as well, obviously my YouTube, go and check that out as well. And that'd be great. So whenever Danny's ready to go here. All right. You just oh, here we go. So we got Danny in here, and he's ready to go. So let's get Danny in here.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Danny. How are you, my man?
Perfect. Everything good.
Well, thanks for joining in on the podcast, man. I I don't do these live streams often, so bear with me if I'm a little off.
Don't worry, man. Let's do it.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. So how was the class?
That was good. I teach every Tuesdays and Saturdays. Buddy, stop. My dog. I don't know why he's crying. I just got home, so he's been crying because he wants some attention. I teach every Tuesday at 7:00, and I teach every Saturday 11 in the morning. So most of the time I do train in the morning, and then I return at night. I train with my guys because I'm a coach, so I have a group of guys that I train in the afternoons too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I teach the class. But today was a day that yesterday was my first day back from since the fight. I've been at the gym. I really like work. Really like. Yesterday was the first day I actually put in real work. We did wall, we did takedowns, ground and pound, all that stuff. And today I had to take off for a second. I was really sore this morning, and I'm like, man, it's my first day back since the fight. So I took today off, and I just went to go teach, and that's it. That's all. My whole day has been like this. Just I was resting, and I just had to go work at 7, and then back in the house. Tomorrow I gotta go back to train.
Right on. And I guess I don't want to dwell too much on about losing a fight, but is that kind of a thing with fighters when you haven't lost a fight for a while? Does that kind of have that sting where you kind of have to sit back for a bit and kind of have your own time, or how do you evaluate that?
It depends. I think everything depends on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a situation that I cannot sit down and lay back. I want to fight soon. You know what I mean? If I'm in a situation like, when McGregor was losing, when McGregor lost to Khabib, he kind of laid back for a little bit, and then he fought Cerrone. It took him some time. I felt like he needed to get, but that's different because he fights with a different type of. It's different the urgency that I have than one that he has. I mean,
Yeah.
this is just my second fight in the UFC. I just turned 34 years old Sunday, so I'm trying to use my youth right now. I'm in my prime right now, so I'm trying to use my prime to keep myself active. I don't want to. I don't want a year. I don't want to like fight like. I don't want to turn 35 and I only fought like two more times in the UFC and that's it. You know what I mean? I want to
Or
go to 35 and I say I fought 3 to 4 more times if I can. It all depends on injuries, you know. I would be able to I would have loved if I would have fought this Masvidal Usman card that's right here in Jacksonville, Florida. They just got announced with audience.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
That'd be like right down the
I
road
would
there.
love to get in the car. I would have loved to get in the car even after the Jared Gordon fight, but I had an injury in my foot, so I have to wait.
Did
So
you get the injury from the fight or was that before the fight?
no, from the fight.
Oh, okay.
No, I was 100% before the fight. I was ready to go in the fight. I think it was the second kick in the first round. I threw a calf
Mhm.
kick. He was pressuring me against the cage. Like the first 2 minutes to a minute to 2 minutes of the fight, he had me going a little bit back. You know, and I'm good because I'm a counter striker. I don't mind going backwards. I don't mind fighting from with my back against the wall.
Mhm.
And I threw a kick and I threw the calf kick. You know, everybody's famous with the calf kick now. I threw a calf kick, and I threw it at an angle that I feel like I kicked more of his foot. I mean, more of his shin than I kicked his calf. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I felt it right by the pinky. It was like right by the pinky to the next toe, and between them two, I felt it right there. I felt like something happened after that kick. It didn't bother me. I was able to keep fighting. It really didn't bother me at all through the fight. I feel great still. It bothered me after the fight. Once I was done fighting and I walked out of the cage, I was beat up. And I was like, oh man,
Mhm.
my left leg hurts, my right foot hurts, my head hurts, you know.
Yeah.
but but no, like I got that during the fight, and that happens. That is part of the game, I know that I've been through this before. I messed up
Mhm.
my foot before in the first round before a fight, and I won that fight. So I don't. It didn't play that didn't play a factor in the fight. I'll be honest. Like it really didn't. Like
Mhm.
I didn't even feel it. The adrenaline didn't even let me feel it. I was so full of adrenaline that um I could have kept kicking. Also, if you really think about it, that was the second kick of the fight. I threw 14. I landed 11. So I was kicking with the foot like that already. And it wasn't that a big deal. It was a little broken bone. It was just and it wasn't even a complete broken because I didn't need surgery. It was just it got cracked, and it kind of like
A little
moved a
boo
little
boo.
to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it told me 4 weeks. It would just heal up. I got an appointment to go get myself checked out again on March 25th, and they'll give me the. I'm trying to get clear for it. So I'm already doing stuff. I just can't make contact with it. I could jump. I could run already. I cannot kick a bag right now. If my foot hits the bag, woo, you know, I'll still
Yeah.
feel it.
Yeah.
So I cannot kick a bag right now. I cannot make contact with it, but I could do all the things already like squats, run, jump. The one thing I haven't done either yet is take a shot yet. I have not done any type of wrestling where I take a shot. I've
Mhm.
done against the wall, which is different. We're already in a position. But when I have to shoot in and then get myself back up and then having to use that foot to put all the pressure in that foot and get up, I haven't done that yet. I don't want to do it yet. Like I said, I'm giving myself. I want to recover so fast enough where I could get back in the cage as fast as I can. Like I said,
Mhm.
I'm in a position in my career right now where I don't. I'm not 24, man. I'm not 30, 23. I don't got time to. You know what, Danny? Heal up for like 5 months, and then we get a camp and a fight, and then we have to build a camp for it, and it takes like another 2 3 months. So
Mhm.
I'm literally fighting around August, September, and then I fight again the next year, March. That's too much time. That's for people that already, you know, top contenders, and they're really taking one fight at a time like that. I don't got that kind of time, and I don't got that kind of I'll say cachet. That's what I say it. I say it. I don't have that kind of value in the roster or in the division
Right.
for me to just take fights that long from each other, that far away from each other. I need to fight. You know what I mean? I need to fight right now. I'm in my first contract. I already have 2 fights in. I got 2 fights left. I need to make sure that my next 2 fights will be before September. Like at least I want to fight either May and then fight like around September and then finish up the year in December. That's my plan. That's my
Okay.
plan. Let's see, and I hope it happens. That's just my plan. Like I said, everything depends on health too. If I'm not, like I said, I will fight April 24th. If it wasn't, I got the thing on my foot and I won't be able to put a full camp for it. But that would have been lovely to go to fight in Florida because I'm from Florida, and they don't really come to Miami. They came to Tampa before. So it would have been dope. But well, on to the next one.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
But yeah, I mean, talking about Miami here. So how, like, I know things are getting better in the States. The vaccines are kind of rolling out. But at the beginning, how did the COVID affect your training? Did it affect it, or how'd that all work out?
In Miami, we're in Florida. I don't. I think it's in Florida because it's
Just
Miami.
Florida in general.
Yeah, in Florida, we didn't really get what's it called? We didn't get shut down only one time when it first started.
Yeah.
But ever since then, we've been open. And so when it comes down to training partners and the gym being available, I had it. My gym was available. My training partners were available. They were not sick, which it makes it good for them too. That my training partners and my coaches did not catch COVID during my camp. So I was able to always have my partners and my coaches available. I didn't catch it. I did catch COVID on November of last year, 2020. Right before this, right after my fight with TJ on August, 2-3 months later, I caught it like right before the year ended. I caught it like late October, right before Halloween. Me and a couple of my training partners and my students, they caught it. It was like everybody caught it like a one time. Like everybody in my house caught it. So the good thing is, like, right when I was getting off of it is when I signed the contract to fight Jared Gordon. I signed it November 20th. So we fought 3 months later.
Yeah.
When I signed it November 20th, that was the first week I was finally feeling like I didn't feel bad during the COVID, but I couldn't smell and I couldn't taste. And I felt weak. I didn't feel the fever or the shortness of breath or none of that stuff. All it was is like when I did try to work out, because I was quarantined, so I was working out. I was trying to work out in the house. It was horrible. I'll do 25 pushes. I almost wanted to faint. It was bad. It was like I felt weak. So after when I signed the contract is when the first week I was coming back to the gym. It took me like about 3 to 4 weeks to feel normal again. My cardio wasn't the same the first month back in the gym. So like mids of December is when I'm starting to feel okay. I'm feeling like back to normal. You know what I mean? Yeah, by entering January, I would say mids of January, I was already feeling 100%. I was already like, okay, yeah. I don't feel like I didn't feel like I didn't have any more. I don't want to say side effects, but I didn't have any more. I feel like the virus
Like
was
after effects, basically.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah,
Because I did feel kind of weird the first month back in the gym. And like I said, the good thing is I signed the contract for 3 months in advance. So the first month, I was just trying to get my feet wet again, get back in the gym, get back in shape, and slowly. I didn't have to rush it. Let's say I would have taken a fight on December, I would have to rush it. Just thinking because I didn't have COVID, it didn't do it. Just because you didn't have the side effects that everybody gets, they have to go to the hospital or they're really, really sick in the house. It doesn't mean that you are 100% healthy. It's just that you didn't have those side effects. But I'm telling you right now, I didn't have anything. But when I went to go work out, I was dying. I really couldn't do anything. I'll do push-ups. I did 3 burpees and I almost threw up. Like it was bad. Like my cardio was bad when I got off of COVID. But after I got back in shape. But by end of December, I was already getting back in shape. January, and then I was ready to fight February.
And that's what they talk about with this whole fucking COVID thing. It's like they talk about how a lot of people will get it, and most people, you and I, and the general, if you had us and 10 other people in the room, probably most of us are going to be okay with pretty much very minimal symptoms. the scary thing is like the after effects that people are having, like weeks and weeks after. A buddy of mine, I had him over for the last UFC card, the one with Adesanya and Jan Blachowicz, and like he's like, I'm like, dude, I hope you don't have COVID. And he's like, no. Like he's like, because he got COVID back in December. He's like, no, man. Like ever since, I'm just like my sinuses have been fucked ever since. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, like my taste and smell just came back like a month and a half ago, like blah blah blah, like, or not that, but like it's just getting back to normal now. And I'm like, geez, man, like it's scary, like how much this virus affects, and I wonder how much it's going to affect fighters in the UFC, like ones that have already gotten it. How is that going to affect their weight cuts in the future? How is that going to affect their cardio in the future? It's a real factor to put in.
Yeah, well, you're right. I'll be honest about one thing. Going into the second round of the fight, I got kind of tired. And of course, Jerry Gordon put a pace, trying to take me down. And
Yeah.
I remember being in the round and being like, God damn, I'm tired. What the fuck? I trained my ass off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't blame that because I feel good in training camp before it. You know what I mean? I feel really good before the fight. I feel good. The weight cut was good. He didn't cut weight. He didn't make weight. That could have been a factor too. I could have used that as a reason. I could have been like, yo, he didn't make weight. I made weight. I got depleted. He didn't. That's the reason why he was a little bit more healthier and cardio-wise too. Those extra 4 pounds that you don't want to be in the jacuzzi or sauna or go running or whatever the hell is that you do to cut weight. Those 4 pounds plays a part, but I could use that too, like I said, but I didn't. I just, it is what it is. To me, I take it in the chin and that's it. I'll move on to the next fight. You know what I mean? It is what it is, but can COVID play a part? You know what? It would be cool the only way for you to know that is if you had doctors behind it the whole entire time. You know what I mean? Like some science behind it. Me just assuming because I got tired, it's not a good one. I'm the kind of guy that I really go all out the first 2 rounds. Like, every time I throw a punch or a kick, I go all out with him. So there's a reason why I could get a little tired. I'm an explosive person. I use a lot of speed and power in my fights, and I explode a lot. You know what I mean? That's the way I fight. That's the way I'm successful. I'm successful because I blitz people all the time. Boom, boom, boom. And, So I have cardio problems before fights before where, some of the fights I had before, I'm breathing heavier sometimes because I go 100 miles an hour when I'm fighting sometimes, so I don't put up a pace. It's just that every shot I throw, I'm trying to take you out already. You know what I mean? So that could play a part too, so that's why I don't want to blame COVID or anything, but it would be cool if we had like I said, someone that was tracking me since I had COVID to the day of the fight and see did I ever had anything that the COVID didn't play any part to it. That would be kind of cool to know because you're right. Everybody has different systems. You know what I mean? Like everybody has different bodies, and let's say it plays on an athlete, but it doesn't bother another athlete or something like that. Or like you said, some people. I know. My cousin's girlfriend. She didn't get her taste buds or her sense of taste or smell till like a month and a half, almost 2 months later.
Wow.
I got it back 2 weeks after. You know what I mean? My brother got it back my brother lost it only for 2 days. My brother lost it for 2 days, but he got it back really fast. It took me 2 weeks, but I knew somebody that took him 2 months. It's crazy. You know what I mean? So who knows? Who knows if COVID could actually harm some athletes later on in the long run or during a period of time. Who knows? That'll be cool to know, but you're gonna have to have like some scientists, some doctors with me 24/7, not 24/7, but being on top of me and to keep on track on that. But
of course, no, I did want to kind of touch upon MMA Masters. So how can you describe the atmosphere at that gym? Your teammates, I mean, your coach Cesar Carnero. I mean, describe the atmosphere, man?
Man, we're a big family, man. Like we all, we've been around for a very long time. We've been around for I've been with my coaches for 12 years, going to 13 already this year. If I'm not wrong, 13 this year. They've been around. We know we were not before we were called MMA Masters. We were Team Noguera down in Brickell, and
Oh
then
yeah.
that's how I met my coaches over there. Then they branched out and they built the MMA Masters, and I've been with them since then. Um, and we've been a big family, man. Me and my coaches, we trust each other. I trust them. I put my career in their hands. They trust me. You know what I mean? And and my teammates, what can I say? These are my teammates. These are the guys that, my coaches. They teach us. They do all the job, all the details. But my teammates, those are the bodies you're with all the time. You know what I mean? Those are the people I'm always going to war with, competing in a very we compete. We're all competitive, but we're like it's like the friendly competitiveness. Like, we're not we compete against each other. Trust me, we always want to have bragging rights on each other. Me and my teammates always like, especially while the ones that once you make it to the UFC, then they want to beat you up because now they want.
Yep.
Now every time they do anything to me, they're like, "Oh, you're in the UFC. You shouldn't be getting caught with that." Like they bother me. We bother each other. We have that kind of friendship.
Of
We,
course.
we we get in each other's case. We have bragging rights. We get in each other's case, but it's very friendly. We never try to like diss each other or harm each other or hurt each other before fights. You know, we all born with egos. That's everybody in their life. Everybody in this world has an ego. You know what I mean? It's just normal. But we don't let that get in the way of watching each other being successful. You know what I mean? Like helping each other to be successful. It's not about me, me, me. It's about us. We have that really. I'm not out here in my gym right now. It's all about us. We all care about each other. You know what I mean? I took that loss. I'm the first one to bring a loss to MMA Masters since last year. Like middle of last year, since the COVID, since the restrictions were over. Since we fought in Jacksonville, uh, Miguel Baeza fought Mike Brown in Jacksonville. Since
Yep.
then, we've been winning. We haven't lost a fight, and I just brought the first L. And to be honest, like it wasn't. I never felt like I lost. I felt like we lost. Because that's how they made me feel. But
Hmm.
after the fight, they all made me feel like they felt like they took a loss too. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that's how it goes.
Because
When
you're
I
all
win,
in this together.
exactly. So when I win, we all win. When I lose, we all lose. You know what I mean? That's how
Or
we all. That's how we all treat this right now. You know what I mean? We have a great bond going on, and like a great brotherhood going on at MMA Masters, and it's great because believe it or not, man, like you know, you can't do. We're in the cage by ourselves, but before we get there, we need a group of people to help us to get there,
hmm
and to have that. They genuinely have that.
Yeah, and that's from what it sounds like. I mean, you guys are like you said, like a family. Talking about one of your guys, big guy, Colby Covington. Obviously joining your gym. Things going on with ATT. So like, describe this guy. I mean, like I know the stuff that he does in the UFC is all part of it. It's like it's a character that he puts on. Can you kind of describe the guy he's like at the gym though?
Hey
If you
man, very
can.
nice guy. Believe it or not, like I was I found out he was at the gym. Okay, he got to the gym like right after COVID.
Yep.
Like actually no, not after COVID, right during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
During COVID, he linked up with my coaches. I don't know how everything went down, but I just know he linked up with the coaches and he started going to the gym. Um, he started, like at the beginning, I didn't know the guy. All I know is the guy that I seen on TV. That's what I seen. So
Yeah.
at the beginning, I'm looking at him. I'm like, I don't know about him. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's just my first instinct. I'm like, I don't know about him. All I know is like, and you hear what's going on at ATT. That he was having problems with ATT and fighters, and so I was already looking at him. I'm like, oh, he may not be a team player, and that's what I mean. Master stands for right now. We're team players. You know what I mean? You can't.
Yeah.
You're not a team player. You shouldn't be a master. So it's just that simple. We're not a selfish team. We're not a kind of people that a group here, then a group there, and a group here. No, we all one big group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I first met him, I thought I never say hi to him. I have never say one word with him before that. And I thought he was gonna be very like, hey, yeah, I'm Colby, Colby Covington, But no, he wasn't like that. Like, hey guys, how you doing? Well, nice to meet you, man. I'm like, whoa, hi, how you doing? What I mean? Seemed like very good energy. He felt like he had some good
Mhm.
energy, good charisma. So then later days went by, and I started talking to him, and very nice guy, told me a lot of things. You know, he talked to me right before I got into the UFC because I fought for a title in Global Legion July 18, and then I got the call 2 weeks later to fight in the UFC 2 weeks after that, after the call.
Yeah.
So I talked to him before the fight, before my Global Legion fight, and he gave me a couple of tips, you know, because after that fight, I kept thinking, after this fight, I go to the UFC. I'm going to the UFC, you know, and he'll be like, keep that in mind, you know, he kept giving me tips, and I liked it, especially, you know, as a fighter, when you get it from somebody that's achieved, you know, the highest of the highest. Like, at the end of the day, the highest thing besides money in the US as a fighter, the highest thing is a belt, to be a champion. Right
Yeah.
after that is legacy, money, anything you want to say, but the belt is what counts. You know what I mean? So a champion telling me these things, it was kind of cool. And then 2 weeks later, I mean, like 3 weeks later, I make it to the UFC. It was kind of cool. And he started talking to me more, like telling me, like, look, man, this, you know, the window in MMA is small. So when you're in there, make it happen. You know, do interviews, put yourself out there. You know, build that brand that you have. And like, giving me a lot of tips, man, and I liked it. And like, actually, he told me about. Oh, let me see. What was it? Last Friday? Yeah, I saw him last Friday, and he was telling me to like when we're gonna, because I only rolled with him once. I wrestled with him and we rolled. And ever since then, I haven't rolled with him because I was getting ready for my fights. And he's a bigger guy, so he normally trains with the bigger guys. He's
Of course.
at 145, so I train with the 55ers and under. He fights at 170. He trains with the middleweights and the welterweights, you know. And everything he told me, like, yeah, man, we're gonna work together. I want to work with you a little bit more, you know, papa. And I was like, oh man, thank you, you know, like I said, very different from what people know about him. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
But people don't know that. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that last year. You know what I mean? Like I'm going based on what I see on TV and what I hear from him, and most basically what I see on TV and in his interviews and the way he talks. You know, that's what I was going based on. When I got to meet him, I'm like, yo, very nice guy, team player. You know what I mean? Like he comes in and he helps, give you tips, and give you that energy. Like I lost my last fight, but
Yeah.
he a week before the fight, before I left to Vegas, you know, he was talking to me and telling me stuff that, hey, it gave me more confidence to win the fight. I'm not gonna lie to you, I lost it, but fuck it. But I'm just saying, he gave me confidence. He was like, go get what's yours. He gave me a couple of words, and that me after that, like, go get it, you know, papa. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna go kill this guy, you know. And it is what it is. I lost the fight, but like I said, it just that's a good thing, you know what I mean? Like because people like Colby that has a kind of like superstar type of what they call he's a superstar in the UFC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a couple of guys you could call superstars and stars in the UFC. You know what I mean?
You know,
Everybody else is trying to get to that status. You know what I mean? Everybody else is fighting to get that superstar status. He's one of them. And to hear a guy like that coming to give you tips and care and like, you know, spending some time to talk to you, it's pretty cool because I don't think everybody's like that. You know what I mean? I don't think everybody, especially the harder you get, the party the less you wanna like. I don't know. Some people are like that. I'm just saying based on experiences that I have. I met people that they make it and they get, you know, they become more of a star, and they kind of like don't socialize as much. They keep their opinion to themselves. They don't. They're not really. They're not about that.
Yeah.
And he's not like that. He's a very nice guy. And like I said, for me to be somebody he just met a year ago, very nice guy, man. I gotta give him that. It's not what people think. He's not what people think.
And I gotta agree. Like at the beginning, I was totally shell shocked. Like I was like, "Are you fucking like the stuff he was doing on TV?" I'm like, "Dude, are you fucking serious right now?" and
Yeah,
and
me too. Me too.
and I guess like stuff he was talking about in Brazil and all this. And after I think when he started doing the whole thing, wearing the mega hat and the cheap fucking suits, and I think it was like at that point I was like, oh, this guy can't be serious. And then I saw this video and he's talking to this young kid and talking about like kid wants to do MMA and he's like, oh dude, you can do anything. And the way he totally changed character there, I was like, yeah, he's just doing this whole. As soon as I started seeing him put all these videos up and stuff, I'm like, this guy can't be serious. And I've gained a lot of respect for the guy. I mean, he did it the right way. He marketed himself the right way. He played the bad guy character to get into those fights that might have been harder to get. And I think it's great. And I think he has those fans there that can see through that and can see that, yeah. I mean, he's the guy that got, like, I think he's the one that brought a present to a UFC event. I mean, that's pretty cool. Mind you, if you like Donald Trump or not, or the former president anyway. And I just like what he's done for the sport too in a different way has been good. You know, and I guess for me, like, your thoughts. I mean, they announced in Jacksonville it's gonna be Usman versus Masvidal too. Now, mind you, Masvidal took the fight on, like, I think 6 days notice.
Yeah.
Jorge obviously lost. But again, I mean, your teammate Colby, he won his last fight. So do you think it's kind of wrong that they gave it to Masvidal over Colby?
You know, when it comes down to the right and wrongs, yes, because okay, let me see. Did Masvidal do they owe Masvidal a real fight for the title? Yes, he took it for you guys.
Yeah.
So he did it for the company. I don't matter how much money they paid him. At the end of the day, he saved that card. Because I'll be honest, I wasn't gonna watch that card. That was one of we were in quarantine. I remember that. I was still doing
I remember that too.
quarantine.
Yeah.
And that card, I was gonna watch it only for Jose Aldo, Peter Yan, and someone else was fighting that I wanted to see. And I remember
I don't think Adesanya was fighting on the card.
someone else was fighting that was good. Then I was like, okay, these fights are good. But then the Gilbert and Usman, I was like, I'll watch it. I guess I don't know what it was, but I guess Gilbert was just so new to the scene. Even though he did some good fights, he was just so new to the scene. It didn't have that. It just didn't have that. You know what I mean?
Have that spice to the fight, you know?
I still was gonna watch it because it's a main event, but that was not the reason I was watching. But once Masvidal said, "Oh, I'm gonna baptize this guy," I was like, "Whoa!" He's using words like, you know, he's already selling it with the words he's using. I'm gonna baptize this guy. I'm street Jesus. Like, when you talk like that, you have to understand that it's just attractive. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's certain things people could do to make it just the fight so attractive. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And that's what he did. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch this fight now. You know what I mean? So he did it for the company. He saved the money because they would have lost a lot of money if he would have not taken the fight. If this would have been Usman either canceled or Usman versus somebody else that was available, it was not gonna be the same unless it's Colby. Because you know Colby him had a rematch. Or it would have been a rematch. So it's different because the first fight they had, you already knew what the first fight gave you. So you think about the rematch would be almost alike or better probably.
Of course.
But now, did Masvidal earn himself that shot? No, it should have been Colby. Now, did the company owes Masvidal a fight? Yes, I do believe that because you're not gonna tell me that in 6 days. Even if he was training, I had this conversation with one of my students earlier, Alex, because we were talking about this fight. He told me, "Yeah, but Danny, the outcome is gonna be the same." And I'm like, "No, it doesn't." I'm like, he's like, "Yeah, Danny, but you know, I heard that he was training, knowing that in case someone pulls out, he's gonna fight." And I'm like, "Yes, but mentally, you have to understand that everything is a mind game, and you're not ready for a fight until 6 days before the fight. They tell you, oh, finally someone did get hurt." Now you're gonna get in. It's not the same, man. It's not the same because it's different when you prepare yourself for 8 weeks targeting someone. Just constantly you're aiming that guy. You're constantly in your head like, I got this guy. I got this guy. Compare it to like, maybe I fight, maybe I not. You know, it's just different. It's different. So you gotta give Masvidal props for stepping in like that. Just kind of like how Chandler was trying to do with Khabib and Justin Gaethje, that he was just trying to wait in case one of them gets hurt, he'll jump in. I get it, but even if let's say Usman would have been hurt and it would have been Gilbert, it would have been Masvidal versus Gilbert. That's what I'm trying to say. You put a guy in a position where he doesn't know who he's gonna fight, if he might fight. You know what I mean? So you're training, but it's just not the same hunger when you know you have your prey waiting for you. You know what I mean? It's just not the same. It's not the same.
And that's it. And I think going back to with having Usman fight Colby again, I'm not going to talk so much about what's right, what's wrong. I personally wanted to see that fight again and Masvidal again, but I'd rather see Colby and Usman fight again, only because I know it was just a lead up to the fight was going to be hilarious. The fight, just in general, those two guys, you got to think that they're both like behind the scenes texting each other saying, "Hey, what the fuck are you gonna say?" Like, are you gonna be like, "Okay, you say this?" Like, just the way they trash talk it's too funny. Like, I never been so excited about a fight. They just
But
have these two personalities that clash so well together, and I love that. And that's why they got to make that fight. If Masvidal doesn't win, they got to make that fight.
but okay, I was talking to my same thing, my student Alex. I was telling him, I'm like, he was telling me, he's like, oh, what do you think would be the best scenario for Kobe? And I'm like, look, the winner of the winner of either one or the other should fight Kobe. Kobe should fight either the winner of either Masvidal or Usman. And the thing is that those two are mega fights.
Yeah,
One, if you fight Usman, is a rematch, is a fight that was very close going into the fifth round.
yeah,
People were having Kobe winning until he got hit and got dropped and stopped. Some people had Usman winning, whatever. It was a very close fight all the way to the end. Even Dana White calls it one of his favorite fights of all time.
oh, mine
You
too.
know? Exactly. So that was such a great fight. So for you to see it again, why not? You know what I mean? Especially, like I said, it was that close. Two, Masvidal versus Colby. If Masvidal wins and he fights Colby, oh man, that's a drama fight right there. It's a different type of drama.
Oh
It's a different
yeah,
type of drama. That's a drama fight right there, bro. Both of them, ex-teammates, ex-roommates, dirty laundry is gonna come out. You know it. You know it. There's no way that these guys are not gonna trash about each other's moments that they know about each other. Like things like, oh, who got more girls when they went out, who who actually was the star before the other
yeah,
one became a star. We all know it was Masvidal first. Who who begged me to stop punching him while I had you in the ground. Or who begged me to stop taking him down because that's still gonna be Kobe's side of the story. I used to take him down and punish him. Masvidal's gonna say I used to strike him and beat him up. There's gonna be so much drama behind it because they're both were teammates and roommates. Roommates makes it even worse because you know each other really well. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I said, that's when the drama comes out. Oh, you were crying when you lost your last fight. I remember when you were crying when this happened. I remember when you this when you. Oh man, that's what's gonna happen. So that is the money fight in that sense. The drama. That's what I believed because they were gonna make the. I thought it didn't happen, but I thought that the next Ultimate Fighter was gonna be Team Marvel, like Team Kobe. That's what they were talking about a lot.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And I thought that was gonna be amazing because I'm like, okay, not only you get the countdown, you're gonna have the Ultimate Fighter as a promoter of the fight because
Oh yeah,
they're gonna talk shit about each other during the show. They're gonna talk a lot of shit. They're gonna get on each other's case. They're gonna push for sure they're gonna try to fight at one point. They're gonna say everybody. Sorry. Everybody's gonna. It's gonna get crazy. You know what I mean? It's gonna get crazy, and then you get the fight, and then that's when you. Oh no! Then you get the countdown, the UFC countdown, and then you get the fight. A lot of anticipation, a lot of drama. That would have been fire. But now you're gonna have to wait till Usman and George settles the April 24th. You know, so Kobe's
absolutely.
in a position where I think he's still like in a win-win. He just has to wait until April 24th, see who wins this fight because he's the number one contender. He shouldn't be waiting for anybody else. So if you're the number one contender and you just fight Tyron Woodley and you could call whatever you want to call Tyron Woodley. Already he's been stepping down in the he's not the same fighter right now, but still Tyron Woodley.
Oh
A
yeah,
big right
absolutely.
hand from him could put you away. Anybody. He could put anybody away that he wants to with that right hand. He just
Yeah.
had bad performances. He's in. I'm sorry. If you really look at the last three fights that he's lost, he lost to the best.
Oh
He
yeah,
lost to he
absolutely.
lost to Usman. He lost to Gilbert that just fought Usman. and he lost to Colby, that is the number one contender. What's so wrong? What's so wrong about that? He didn't lose to a number 10 guy. Now he lose to Luke. He's fighting Luke. Yeah, if he
Yeah,
loses to
Vicente
Luke,
Luque. Yeah.
then we start seeing a trend that he's not keeping up with the top guys anymore. But he lost to the best, so you cannot look at Tyron Woodley. Oh, he just beat Tyron Woodley. Yeah, but it's Tyron Woodley, bro. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Don't forget that. So he's in a position that he should just be waiting to see who's the winner on April 24th, and if that is true that there's attendance and everything, oh, he's gonna be there. Oh, he's gonna be there. Kobe's gonna be there ready to see who's the winner, and he's gonna wanna call it out, call them out. I bet money he's gonna be there the day that Usman and Masvidal fights, because he's gonna want to be the next one in line. He's gonna talk some shit. He's gonna wait for the winner to walk out, and he's gonna be in the front row, and he's gonna say something. Watch. I bet that's what's gonna happen, and it should be happening. That's what he should be doing. You know.
Hmm. No, one thing I really want to skip into is your opponent Jerry Gordon. Obviously, the fight didn't go the way you wanted it to, and him missing weight. I mean, your last opponent before him that you won that fight missed weight. I mean, this whole thing about fighters missing weight is becoming quite an issue in the UFC, and what's your thoughts about opponents missing weight? Do you think there should be harsher penalties? What is it going to take for people to stay professional?
Well, first, if Jerry, this gonna go to YouTube. So if Jerry hears this interview, you're still a fat bitch. All right, not taking that away. You're still a fat bitch. Okay, I want you to know that, Jerry. If you're watching this, you're still a fat bitch. All right, I'm a professional fighter. I'm very professional with everybody, and that's why I made weight, because I'm professional. All right, this is my second fight in the UFC. This was his 8th fight in the UFC, and he missed weight. We had 3 months in advance notice. That was very unprofessional. I think that's what got me the most mad against it. Look, I lost before. This is my 4th loss. I lost before. You know what I mean? And I'm able to talk to my opponents after I lost. Not talk to them, but like I don't have really a grudge against them besides the fact that I lost. You know what I mean? But like, but with him, if something about him, I just don't like him. You know what I mean? And not because he beat me. It's because it's kind of like, because come on, man, like you know what weight does in the fight. You know what I mean? Like, and if you miss a pound and you were really trying to lose it, it's cool. But what it got me really upset about Jared is that when I was at the weigh-ins and I was already depleted, I just made 45. I didn't make 46. I'm supposed to make 46, but I made 45 because I can't control my water leaving my body when I'm in the hot tub with Epsom salt and I'm just losing water weight. I don't know how much of water I'm losing. I did 30 minutes. When I got out, I'm like, oh, I'm 45. God damn, if I would have known, I would have done 20 minutes. But I don't know that. So I don't know how fast my water was leaving my body. I don't know that. So I'm in the weigh-ins, sitting down with my student. He's the one that comes with me to do the weight cuts. And he comes up to me like, "Hey, Danny, I'm sorry." And I'm like, I look at him. I'm like, I couldn't even recognize. He has his mask on. So I'm like, huh? And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Danny." And I'm Jared. I'm like, "For what?" He's like, "For missing weight, man." And I'm like, and he tried to shake my hand, but I didn't shake it back. I just dabbed him. I'm like, "Don't worry, we're fighting tomorrow." And I dabbed him. But I'm thinking, okay, he missed weight, but probably he tried to make weight or something. When he gets on the scale and I see 150, I'm like, God damn, man, like,
Yeah.
you're not really trying to make weight. Like, what the fuck is this? But I don't care. I'm a fighter. I'm here to fight. I didn't really care about that. I didn't even pay attention to that. I was like, yo, I even told him, I'm like, worse for you. You didn't make weight. That means that you couldn't. This is what I was thinking. I thought if he tried to, if he couldn't lose 4 more pounds, but he was trying to, he was depleting himself. He just hit a wall, because we could always hit that wall that
Of
you just
course.
can't lose no more. Even you can't even sweat one more drop. Then it's different. But he didn't look like that. He looked like he could really go out there and lose 4 more pounds. It looked like he just didn't want to. And then he comes out with the excuse that, his sauna was broken. I didn't use a sauna. I used a hot tub, and I used a sauna suit with sweet sweat all over your body, and I went running. So I don't want to hear that you couldn't lose weight. You just didn't want to. You said, fuck it. Let me gamble. I get paid more than Danny Chavez does, because it's my second fight. It's his 8th fight. He's in his second contract. He's like, I'll lose 20, 30% of my paycheck, but I'm going to go in healthier. Fuck it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. But it is what it is. But I believe I got 30% of his show up money. I believe I should have gotten 30% of his whole entire purse.
Yeah,
Because
and I think too, and they're talking a lot about this fighters missing weight. Like 2 events ago or 2 or 3 events ago, there's a guy that missed 11 pounds. 11 fucking pounds. Like there's no.
hold on, hold
I just interviewed.
hold on. That's my teammate.
Oh, is that right,
That's Rafael Alves. That's my boy.
dude?
He
How
made,
you miss that
yeah,
much weight?
man. I'll be honest. Like we were both cutting weight differently. Like we're both in the same building, but he was in his own room. I'm in my own room. When I cut weight, I don't like people bothering me because we're edgy. He was doing his own thing. He ended up saying, I heard he ended up getting sick, and he started drinking a lot of water to give some fluids back, and he never able to drop it after that.
Hmm.
That's why they told me. That's what he told me. That's what I heard. Me personally, man, like next time, I don't know. I don't know. Like I never been in a situation. You know what I mean? I've been in a
Yeah,
situation where I've been in a situation when I cramped. I cramped and I had to drink water and I gained weight back and I'm like, God damn it, I gotta lose it again because I was cramping. My groin and my hamstring was cramping. But I don't know about being sick. I never been sick before a fight. Like I'm talking about like stomachache or virus or diarrhea. I never been sick before a fight, so I don't know. But hey, man, that was a lot, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was shocked when he got on the scale too. I thought we both fight at 45, so I thought he was at 51 or 50, 49. When he told me he was like, I'm a little overweight. When I go see the scale, I'm like, damn, man, that was a lot.
yeah, and I think like once you know what's kind of going on, it's like okay, great. But when I first heard about that, and you telling me that, I'm like, okay, like I could see that now. But when I first heard about, it, I'm like, 11 fucking. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way that you missed by 11 pounds. But understandably, most people that are missing 11 pounds, they didn't. That's not about them not trying. There's no way. Like someone's not going to come in and try to embarrass themselves that way. But if you got,
And I saw him cutting weight. But I was seeing from far. Like I was doing my own thing, and I was, because he came with my conditioning coach, and I could
yeah,
hear him, my conditioning coach telling me, "Oh, I'm in the gym, cutting weight with him. Oh, I'm here." I wrapped him up in towels. I'm doing like he was doing everything. I don't know, like I said, I never been in this situation, but I've been in a situation with cramping. That's true. Like I was 149.2 the day before the weigh-ins. My UFC debut, 149.2. I had 3 pounds and 0.2 to lose. That's it. And I started cramping, and I started grading because they give you bottles of water, body armor. So I drank 2 of them because I was cramping really bad. Like my groin was cramping. So when I was walking, I was cramping. I had to stop. So I had to literally walk in a weird way to the refrigerator and get some water. When I drink the water, I feel better. I drink 2 bottles. I was 154.2.
I gotta
Bro,
ask that.
I went like this. I'm like, bro, I'm supposed to, tomorrow's the weigh-ins, 154. I had to get back in the hot tub. I lost to 150. Then I went crazy, man. That was the worst weight cut I ever done, but I made it. That's why, in a way, Jared, you're a fat bitch. All right, you don't want to make weight. You wanted to gamble and play it safe. You know what I mean? Like don't show up depleted. But it is what it is. He beat me. It is what it is. I'm never gonna take that. Nothing. I never take anything away from the guys that beat me. It is what it is.
I gotta ask that body armor shit. Isn't that packed with sugar though?
No, no, it's not the body armor. Those drinks. No, they have the drinks or the body armor drinks that have sugar and all that stuff. I'm talking about body armor water. It's just water. It
Oh,
just has,
okay,
it has electrolytes and that's about it. No
okay,
sugar, none of that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
It's body
Shit,
armor water.
yeah, 'cause shit. I was gonna say, when they started selling them here in Canada, I went and I was like, I gotta try one of these waters. Like especially after training, I'm just totally exhausted. I'm like, yeah, I'll it's a 2-minute drive to go over to a 7-Eleven and grab one. And I go in, I look at these balls, and they're all packed with sugar. I'm like, how the fuck are these fighters drinking that shit? Like the day, like when they're doing their weight cuts. And then now I know. I mean, they got the water too.
No.
So,
Yeah. And I don't
but
do that much of a crazy weight cut, but I talked to a couple of featherweights that were fighting that day, and they were like at 160 while I was at 154.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And I was already 6 pounds under them. And I just don't like doing that much of that water weight cut. I do more of a diet. I train and I do diet. I like to keep myself eating, and I'm still drinking water, but none of that like you know where you keep yourself so hydrated to a point where now you gotta go lose so much water in the next 2 weeks. I don't like that. I like to slow lose it. You know what I mean? Like I kind of like lose the last 10 pounds. I lose it like in 3 days. I lose three, then four. You know what I mean? I do like that. I don't like to go straight 10 and just get so depleted. You know, I don't feel. I don't think it's healthy for you. I don't feel good. I feel pudgy when I do it. I feel like a little off. I don't like it. I don't like it.
No, just kind of moving on here. I just wanted your quick thoughts. Who do you have winning next weekend? Volkanovski or Ortega?
No, I think Volkanovski is a smart fighter. He fights. He knows what's going to decision and winning fights to decision with against great competition like Max Holloway. And so you saw Max Holloway last performance. Goddamn, he can't do that to. You don't do that to Alexander. Um, I think Alexander is just a smart fighter. I think he's gonna win by being a smart fighter. I think Ortega. We only seen one fight from Ortega is the Max Holloway beating. We only saw
Yeah.
him winning against the Korean Zombie, and I'm sorry. I think the Korean Zombie is a great fighter, but he's not the most technical fighter. He's not the most. He doesn't wow me. He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He wins fights here and there, but I don't think the Korean Zombie is all that. So I think Alexander's gonna win that fight.
And that's what I was thinking about too. Because I reviewed the UFC 260 card last Friday. I was doing this hot wings challenge. So I guess my mind, I was like, my mouth was on fire. I wasn't probably thinking through a whole lot, but I thought about Ortega, and yeah, he had a great performance against the Korean Zombie, and I thought, I think he has a chance against a guy like Volkanovski, but I think the problem is when he goes against someone like Max Holloway, I just don't see him beating Max Holloway. Max Holloway just at 145. I mean, he's just, not to take away from any fighter fighting in that weight class, including yourself, but like he's just, you look at his striking, it's just how the fuck do you beat a guy like him? And I think that's why Volkanovski is a guy that can, because he has that. He's one of those guys in that division that has that. I think has that IQ to be able to beat him.
Well, in the style, style makes fights too. You know what I mean? And I think like Volkanovski has like the style, a lot of full work, a lot of kicks, a lot of in and out, like a lot of movement. A guy like Max Holloway, he's once he gets his rhythm, you can't get him out of it. And that's what happened with Qatar. Qatar was such a little bit more stationary fighter, likes to counter box people and punch hard. And once he had what's it called? Once he had Max Holloway all over the place, he couldn't deal with that. It was different. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
One second. My charger's acting up right here. There you go. Yeah. So I think like a guy like Max Holloway, is such a rhythm fighter because when he's striking, it's a rhythm right there. Pa 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 pa, moves around angles, boom 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 boom, and keeps going. And it's volume fighter as well. Volkanovski, what he does is that his style of fighting makes him reset a lot of times. It gives him a little bit of rhythm. And that's the reason why it's more successful to Max Holloway than anybody else. Because Brian Ortega, we already saw what happened. And everybody else, we already saw what happened. The only one that was able to, beat Max Holloway, it was Dustin Poirier, but that was a 155.
Yeah.
It's a bigger guy, bigger punches, takes more, and Dustin has, Dustin is Dustin. He's another top fighter. You know what I mean? Come on,
absolutely.
So yeah, I think like now can Ortega, what Ortega does bring to the table, that Ortega has a big punch too. He could throw hard. He has grappling, but if I'm not wrong, this is his what? In 3 years, he's fought 3 times probably.
Yeah.
Exactly. Alexander's been more busy, more easy. I think Alexander's gonna win this one. Let's see.
Yeah, and that's it. No, just lastly, I got one more for you, and this is a really good one because you're in the UFC. This has been happening like 2 events in a row. You got two fighters that have been disqualified for or no contest for illegal knees, and the eye pokes in the last main event. I mean, what are they gonna do to stop this? I mean, what's the what's the answer? Do they get rid of the illegal knees? I mean, I think it's a little pointless.
No, I think what you have to understand is that you have to uh, this problem is the fighters. Is the fighters. You have to know you can't knee him while he's there, like in that position. You have to know. Keeping your hands to yourself, like don't extend your arm, your whole hand, and have your fingers open. You know you can't do that. They tell you right before the fights. When my last fight, Herb Dean came to my locker room. He told me, please keep your hands, don't poke anybody. Papa, like we talked about that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because like back in the days, we used to talk about groin shots. When you get kneed or kicking the balls. But now that we have diamond cups going on, it don't really matter. You could kick me as hard as you can with my diamond cup, and it don't fucking hurt no more. Because
Yeah.
these cups are really good for you. You don't feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really been kicked with the diamond cup, purposely kicked. Like I told my friend, I didn't try to go 100%. I just wanted to give me a nice little kick. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know what if he kicks me 100%, he breaks one of my nuts. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I was like, kick me. He kicked me pretty good. And I was like, oh, I didn't feel anything. So, because that's like the new cup most of the fighters are using because it protects you. So, um, groin shots, eye pokes, illegal knees, it's about the fighter here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to tell the fighter to keep his hands closed. Because now they talk about the new glove. Oh, there's a glove. Bro, that glove sucks. All right. If you look at that glove that they were showing compared to the MMA glove, I'm sorry. I don't want. Are we amateurs or are we pros?
Is that
It looks like
that white glove that like when you put it on, it
blue.
makes your fingers already like down a little bit. Like your hand will
I don't know,
literally be like this.
but it only exposed a little bit of the fingers, like right
Yeah.
here, like it only exposed like this much of the fingers. But I feel like, what about the grip? Like you gotta understand that when we get wrapped up, we get wrapped up with a lot of gauze and a lot of tape too.
Yeah.
So and we still be able to grip, but that glove looked too much. It looked fatter. It looked a little fatter glove too, and I didn't like it because when you're gonna sink in chokes or I need too much of a fat glove. It's almost like an amateur event. In the amateur events, it's like 6 ounces. That's what it looked like to me. You know what I mean? It looked like a 6 ounce glove, except for the 4 ounce that we use in the UFC. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I think it's literally just tell the fighters to keep the goddamn. Don't open your goddamn fingers. It's like there's nothing you could do about that. Like that, it's kind of like telling a boxer not to. It's like telling two boxers, be careful you headbutt each other. That's gonna most likely happen. Like you could tell two boxers, be careful with the headbutts. But man, when they're swinging and they're inside a pocket and they're moving around, sometimes you go boom, and it opens up a cut. It was not intentional. It's just that and they tell you be careful with headbutts. But guess what? In that sport, it's most likely it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? What people hate the most in MMA is that it happens in the main card. If that would have happened any prelim fight, nobody would have had a problem. Is when you watch the main fight and you're like, okay, this is the fight I'm here to watch, or this is the main fight, and that happens, it kind of ruins the whole card.
Hmm.
It kind of ruins the whole card could have been fire. But once that fight happens, you're like, you leave home with a bad taste. You're like, that fight was whack, like I got eye poked, but you forgot the fights before were fire. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
all the prelims, everybody was getting dropped and knocked out and be put to sleep. Like a fight before that, if I'm not wrong, like 3 fights before that, didn't Eve Dan Ige just drop that guy with a right
Oh my
hand in 20
god!
seconds?
You get the little inside knockout.
And I'm
Like you just
watching
put
these
it in
two
the
guys
inside.
because that's my division. I'm watching these two guys. This is my division. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm watching these two guys, and I know the other guy, Tucker. I seen him fight right after I fought. I saw him fight like a few months ago, and I'm watching these guys because you never know. I may fight one of these guys. So I'm looking at them, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a very good fight. Pop, pop, boom, damn. The guy got put to
Yeah.
sleep already in 20 seconds. It was a good fight. It was like, not a good fight because it didn't. But I'm just saying, you tend to forget what just happened just because the main event that happened. So
Did
you
you
tend to
see?
forget.
Yeah. Did you
What happened?
see Bilal's eye? Like the picture he posted after? Like
Oh, that was bad.
he had a real close up. Yeah, man. Like I would do a
It
screen
was
share with
bad.
you, but I'm almost done here. And I mean, like his eye just swelled right up. I mean, I haven't seen too many bad eye pokes, but that one
No, no,
was.
I think two. That one and the Randy Couture
I think you froze, man. I think you froze. Oh,
Hello? Oh, I
hello.
got you. I don't know. Something happened. Um, I saw what happened right before the poke happened because they showed in slow motion and his eye was normal. And then after
Yeah,
the eye poke, it was red, blue, purple, bleeding. It was horrible. So you could tell like the eye poke, it wasn't even one eye poke. It was like three fingers went like this to his eye. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It was bad. And you know what? I wanted to touch about something you said earlier, the illegal knees, the knee part. Look,
yeah,
grounded opponent. Look, I'm all in for keeping it the way the rules are. You know why? Because I don't make the money that those people make in the main event for me to be getting kneed when I'm in the ground. I'm sorry.
yeah,
All right. You think I want to get kneed on the ground? Like you think like this like the sport has already enough. The sport is perfect. I think. Like to me, the sport is perfect. You know what I mean? In the sense like we could do elbows, we could punch, knee almost everywhere. Like there's not so many rules if you really think about it. Oh, I'm sorry, you cannot elbow me in the spine. Well, I'm trying to walk. You know what I mean? I'm trying to walk out of here. You cannot elbow me right here in the mohawk area. Of course, a lot of our senses are there. I'm not trying to be blind. I'm not trying to be vegetable. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to be able to have a life outside of the sport later. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So, because I saw Demetrius Johnson made a comment about that. Like, oh, they should, and I'm like, yeah, it's because you're fighting ONE FC now, and that's legal over there, and you have to deal
yeah,
with that. And I'm like, and two, I'm like, it's different for you because you make so much money now that for you it's okay to go through that. Like, you're
yeah,
asking a person that just got in the UFC. I just got him. I'm in my second fight. I don't make that kind of money, but guess what? The damage is the same. All right, but you get paid enough because think about it like this: do you really believe that me getting kneed in the head in my first fight in the UFC will not damage you as you keep fighting? It's like it could start the downfall of this guy's career. You know what I mean? Like
oh, 100%.
in this sport, health is very very important. You know what I mean? You've seen it. You know what I mean? Like guys that get hit too much, eventually they don't process things right. They start stumbling a little bit of words, and I believe like the less trauma to the head and the less injuries you give your body, the better the longevity of your career will have. You know what I'm trying to say? So if you're gonna allow knees to the head, oh, I want to see a bigger paycheck, because eventually the day that I cannot walk anymore, I have to cut out. The day that I have to say no more to this sport, because the sport is taxing my body and my mind and my health so much.
Yeah,
I want to be able to have a good life after that. Not be like, okay, I used to fight in the UFC, but I'm working at McDonald's as a manager. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying
mhm,
to do that. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, like I'm in my second fight, going to my third. I gotta let's say you have a lot of people. Look, I have a lot of friends that got into UFC and they got in cut before the contract is over or by the first contract. They go 2-2 or 1-3 in the first 4 fight deal contract, and they get released. Those guys didn't make that much money in that first contract, and they got damaged, and then they gotta go where? They gotta go back to the regular regional scene, fight for $2,000 main event, maybe somebody out there that's super hungry to fuck you up because you were from the UFC and he wants to make a name out of your name. And
oh,
guess what?
absolutely.
And guess what? You don't make money to. Yeah, you don't have that kind of money. Like I feel like this. like I said, going into my third fight. I want to be able to like when I retire from the UFC, like I want to retire from the UFC. I don't want the UFC to retire me or for them to release me. I want to be able to find the UFC till I say, okay, I'm done. You know, I'm like, I
Hmm.
think I should hang up the gloves and I'm out. And
Right.
when I be out, I mean, like I want to be out like the guys that have gone out and they're comfortable. You know what I mean? Like guys like Raja Faber who call it quits, they didn't win a belt, but guess what? The guy's sitting in a good, comfortable life. You know what I'm trying to say?
Hmm.
That's what you're supposed to do, especially when you're in, you're those kind of people that make that kind of money. Or so, not my fault you blow up all your money and you party, that's your problem. But I'm just saying, like, if you make that kind of money and you do the right things, oh, you're gonna be able to retire and have a good, comfortable life, and that's what's supposed to happen when you retire from a sport. Live a comfortable life. You paid all your dues by bleeding and sweating in that cage and
Hmm.
doing everything you have to do. But I don't want to be like, oh, okay, I took a couple of knees. Then my next fight, I took a couple of knees again. Then my next fight, I'm fucking retarded. And then I'm already fucking getting kicked out of the UFC because I'm
Yeah.
retarded. And then like, come on, man, knees to the ground. You don't understand. You remember Pride? You remember Pride when they allowed
Oh,
those
you could
knees to the
stomp on
ground
people. You could like.
and stomp on people? Man, a lot of those people's careers didn't last that long. You know what I mean? Because it's just, I get it. People want to see, oh, but it's more realistic fighting. Man, why don't you get your ass in the cage and go feel some of those knees, and then you talk to me about that. All right? I feel
Mhm.
like the sport is perfect. I'm telling you, I feel like the sport is good enough to be well entertained, and and what else you want? What you want groin shots to be legal? You want bite marks to be legal? Like, come
Oh
on,
no.
man. You know what I mean? Like, what else do you want? There's knees, there's elbow, there's kicks, there's punches from different positions. There's only two things you gotta be careful. And they already fixed the whole thing with the hand. Remember the hand? Oh, if you touch the ground with the hand, you can't get hit. You can't get hit. It's not about that no more. It's all about having one knee on the ground. If you have both knees on top of the ground and you have one hand on the floor, you still could get kneed in the face. Remember that. Is when you have one knee on the ground. You can't knee a guy in the face. You know what I mean? But you could knee him in the body. You could punch him. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. There's
that's
ways to win.
yeah. I just think that's all about the fighter knowing how to hold back that moment. Because I get it. I'm that kind of guy too. I haven't made that mistake, but I'm the kind of guy that when I see someone a little hurt or something, I'm going for it. So I get it when you see the guy a little down and you just go for a knee. It's just an instinct. So I get it. It happens, but man, if you're gonna allow legal knees, I want to see some extra zeros on those paychecks. All right, I need to see some extra zeros because man, this is a ruthless sport, man. Like I said, it's enough with everything that the sport brings you, all
Hmm.
that pain and all that everything that the sport brings you. It's a brutal sport. Look, it's funny. Me and you, we watch it and we look at it like a sport, right? We look at it like, oh man, this is a sport. You know what I mean? But in
Hmm.
reality, it's two guys fucking each other up for a paycheck inside a cage, like two animals. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, let's just be honest. Like we're
Kill
both
or be
human beings.
killed.
Exactly. So it's crazy. Like we look at it like a sport. I like looking at it like a sport too because it is a sport because it's a physical activity. You know what I mean? But it's a very demanding, taxing, and very stressful sport, man.
Hmm.
Mentally, before you walk into that cage, whoo, boy, you had a war against yourself. You had to battle a bunch of demons before you go in there, and then you gotta go in there and physically fuck each other up, and then gladly you as the winner don't even have a mark on you probably because even winners come out fucked up too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, man. They gotta take it easy with trying to make those knees legal. I don't like that because eh, you want. Think about it like this: McGregor got McGregor got taken down against Chad Mendes in the first round in their fight. When he fought Chad Mendes, he got taken down, right? Imagine Chad Mendes was able to use illegal knees at that time when he wasn't in side control and could just start knee his head, pa pa pa. That would have been probably the McGregor probably would have been over at that moment or something. I'm just saying. Then you take away that what he became. You see what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
because probably after that fight, who knows if he'll be the same after you know it's a knee to the temple because you're in side control. Think about it, you're in side control, and the guy is right here in side control, and he starts kneeing your head like this, thing, 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 bro. After three, you may be gone. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
100%.
exactly. So what I'm trying to say is that you're gonna fuck up a lot of people's careers too soon with that specific move. Everything else is fine, but just that specific move, that in stumps. Yeah, don't allow stumps. Stump is gonna kill people's careers easily, very fast. You know what I mean? People will be attacking leg locks out of stumps. Probably that'll be their counter. You're gonna stump me. I'm gonna go for a leg lock here. But you remember Vanderlei Silva and Pride? Woof. Remember Shogun and Pride? Woof. Those
Oh
guys
my
were stumped
God.
everybody to death.
Alistair Overeem.
You know,
I mean,
Alistair Overeem,
fuck.
they were stumping people to death. So yeah, man, and a lot of those people, I remember, I can't remember his name, but he fought Vanderlei, and Vanderlei stumped on his jaw, like he was already out. But by the time the referee got in, Vanderlei got like two, three more stumps on his jaw, like it went ta 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 ta. Bro, those are like every stump was like 2 extra years of his life he taken out. You know what I
Oh
mean? Like,
fuck yeah.
so that's what I'm saying, man. Like no, man. Like those illegal knees, leave them alone. The sport is fine how it is. Just the fighter needs to know how to like understand that moment and not mess up.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Of course, of course. Again, I just want to thank you for coming on the podcast. Let me interviewing you, getting your perspective on the sport, and I just hopefully we'll get to see you again in the octagon soon,
Oh, I will.
and
I will. I
bring back a
will.
win, eh?
Yeah, man. I have, man. Like you don't understand, bro. Look, I'm a sore loser. You know what I mean? And not in the sense that I'm gonna give excuses, because I don't give excuses. I never give an excuse. Gordon beat me. He's a fat bitch. It is what it is. But I'm never gonna say, oh, he beat me because of this. He beat me because of that. I don't really care. I went in there. I fought my ass off, and he beat me. It is what it is. I'll move on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate
Absolutely.
losing. I hate bro. You know what it is? We both get down the cage. I have to make a right. He has to make a left. He's gonna go get interview, get all the good stuff. I'm over here, everybody feeling bad for you. Everybody's telling you, don't worry, man. Next one, next time. I'm like, fuck away from me. I'm so mad. I hate losing, man. I'm such a competitor.
Mm-hmm.
I trained my ass off for Gordon. I really did. You know what I mean? I trained my ass off for him. And it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? I lost. It is what it is. But I just want to get my hand raised again, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I, Jordan has been in the UFC for a minute. I haven't. I just got here. I just tasted defeat in the biggest stage. And the first time I tasted defeat in the biggest, I was 4 or 5 wins. I was about to like, I was feeling it. I was feeling like, okay, I'm gonna beat Joy Gordon, and then I'm gonna the next level. I was having visions, and he took all that away from me. Now I gotta do it again. I gotta fight the next guy. The next guy goes the next day. And that's how it goes. That's how the game of fight goes. You know what I mean? I can't get uh I can't be whining only about my last loss. I just hate it because, like I said, I'm all about winning. And when you lose, it is what it is. I take it on the chin and I move on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
But I just can't. Like, I need to get my hand raised one more time. So it's supposed to get better. As soon as it's supposed to get better, I just need 100%. So this is 100. Once I get the feedback, I'm calling my manager, and my manager calling whoever he has to call, and they're that's guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think
And that's what I want.
you know what, and I think you know what, man, this is this is a full year, man. You got hopefully you're gonna get another fight in the next little while, and it'll be on to the next one, man.
All right, man.
And
Thank you very much. Whenever you want, man, just hit me up, and I will do an interview before the fight, my next fight, or we do an interview after. Whenever you want, man. I just after my fight, I got a bunch of messages, and your message got kind of like I had it there, but when people started messaging me after the fight, people sending me good messages and stuff, trying to cheer me
no
up.
worries, man.
And I think one of your messages got lost, And now since I reply, I do try to reply to almost all my fans, and I try to reply, and I saw your message. I was like, oh, let me talk to this guy. Then that's when I talked to you. But now I already have you in my primary. Like Instagram has three different. They have the primary, the general,
Yeah,
and the request people. You're my primary already. So if you send me a message, that will be one of the first messages I get. So don't worry about it.
absolutely, man. Well, I appreciate that. And yeah, let me know when you're gonna get another fight, or I'll just kind of find out, and we'll do another one, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Anytime, any day. Thank you.
All right, Danny. Well, you take care and have a good night. Okay.
Have a good night. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Yes, sir.
If you guys enjoyed that interview, please hit the like and go ahead and subscribe. Always subscribe. Hit the bell button. You'll get notifications when I upload. Again, I'm going to be uploading 2 episodes tomorrow. Hopefully 2 tomorrow. I was hoping to upload the one tonight, but I'm probably going to upload 2 tomorrow, and then this one will already be up there. So that's kind of weird how this episode showed up first. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. And please go follow Danny Chavez on Instagram. Great guy. I just got to have a good hour talk with this guy. He's a great guy and has a lot of knowledge. So, again, as a sponsor, go check out J Bond Construction Inc. And for anyone that's in the Chatham area in Chatham, Ontario, Canada, this guy, great customer service, always great customer service, always does a great job. And I'm not sure how busy he's going to be this summer, but again, give him a call, see what he can do. He always does a free quote. He always does a good job. So go ahead and check him out. And thanks, guys, again, and see you in the next one.